There's this incredible, unseen world that exists in those tiny little moments, right before we speak. It's a space we all visit all the time, but we almost never really explore it. So today, let's step inside. Let's map out what we're going to call the architecture of silence. So let me ask you a question. Just think about the last conversation you had. Right in that split second of quiet before you replied, what was really going on in your head? We usually think of it as just nothing, an empty space, a blank page waiting to be filled. But is that all it is?
I want to offer you a totally different way to look at it. What if that silence isn't empty at all? What if it's a design studio, an active, busy workshop where you are the architect carefully constructing your response before a single word ever comes out?
Okay, so let's really get into this. We're going to take a little trip into that inner world to see if we can map out the structure, the process that turns a simple thought into something truly meaningful. So what are we actually talking about here? The architecture of silence? Well, let's put a pin in it. It's that conscious mental process of analyzing, of structuring, and designing your response in that crucial pause before you speak. It's the thing that separates just reacting from giving a truly thoughtful response. Now, every great building, every piece of architecture needs a solid foundation, right? Well, in this architecture of ours, that foundation is active listening. And this is so much more than just hearing the words. It's about really absorbing the meaning, the intent, even the emotions that are unspoken. Without this, anything you try to build is going to be on some seriously shaky ground.
And holding this whole thing up, we've got two critical pillars. On one side, you've got analysis. That's the logical part, right? Deconstructing what you heard. What are the facts? What's the real question here? And on the other side, you've got empathy. That's the ability to connect, to try and understand the other person's perspective, their emotional state. A response that only uses one of these pillars, it's always going to feel a little incomplete. But a strong one uses both.
And the crazy part is, this mental blueprint, it all comes together in a flash. First, you deconstruct what was said using both that analysis and empathy we just talked about. Then, your mind runs these super fast simulations. Okay, if I say this, what might happen? If I phrase it like that, how will they take it? And then finally, after test driving a few options, you assemble the words you've chosen into the sentence you're about to say. All of that happens in what we thought was an empty pause. Incredible, isn't it?
So what happens when you start doing this on purpose? When you actually become the conscious architect of your responses? Well, the results can be pretty profound. By harnessing this power, you can literally change the entire outcome of your conversations.
And this right here, this is the heart of it. A reaction? That's impulsive. It's often purely emotional, totally unfiltered. It just bursts out. But a response, well, a response is a product of your inner architect. It's considered, it's intentional, and it's so much more precise. It's the difference between erupting and building.
I just love this idea. The quality of our words is determined in the silence that precedes them. That just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures everything we're exploring. The work you put in, right there, in that silent design studio, it directly translates to the impact you have when you finally do speak.
And the outcomes here are absolutely real. When you build these thoughtful responses, you create deeper connections because people feel genuinely heard. You have way fewer of those, "oh, why did I say that" moments. You start communicating with so much more clarity. And naturally, your confidence grows and your ability to have a positive influence, it just skyrockets.
All right, this all sounds great, but how do we actually do it? How do we go from being kind of an accidental builder to a master architect of our own conversations? Let's get practical.
Here are your first blueprints, and they are so simple. First, just practice the 1-second pause. Before you answer anything, just take one single conscious second. That's it. Second, buy yourself a little more design time. Ask a clarifying question, something like, "So, just to be clear, are you asking?" And third, use a simple acknowledgement to kick things off. Saying something like, "Wow, that's a great question," gives your mental architect those crucial few moments it needs to start drafting the blueprint. So, let's end right where we started, in that moment of silence. But now we know it's not some empty void, is it? It's a design studio. It's a space of incredible potential where our words take shape. And the only question left is, if your silence has an architecture, what will you choose to build? Will you build bridges or walls? Clarity or confusion? The choice and all the tools are yours.